welcome to this week's episode of Pit Against, a live Flesh and Blood call-in show. I'm joined by my constant co-host, Kevin Murphy. Kevin, what's up?
Yep.
Hello. Pit Against is a live call-in show. If you'd like to be live on air with us, about talking to us about your hot take, join the Pit Against Discord by clicking on the link in the description and that Kevin just put in chat. Then join the waiting room channel, mute your mic, put your hot take in the topics channel, and if I like your take, we'll bring you in for a mic check and then pull you on air. What? Where are we starting? Do you want to go ahead and pull a take, or did you want to talk about whatever you wanted to talk about and I already forgot?
So let's see. There's that one. We don't have an actual take from Taylor
yet.
If he's going to show up, it is a Thursday, not a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to. They have not. I don't think they posted this on the LSS site yet. I want to talk about the celebrational format.
Yes. Okay. Tell me about it. I know
by Mansant.
I know we're celebrating. Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
So it is a 3-day event. It is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. Friday is played sometime around the premiere.
So you could do the celebrational into the calling.
Yes.
Because calling Saturday, Sunday. Both. Okay. Yes. Okay. I didn't know that. All right.
I imagine that whatever they're doing for the celebrational on Friday is not going to be is going to be planned around the world premiere as well. So you can still play that too. Because that's Friday.
Okay. I'm following.
So celebrational Wednesday, first 4 rounds are underdog blitz.
You can only play low LL heroes?
Heroes who have less than 100 LL points in blitz.
I don't know.
So,
okay.
You do not have Briar. You don't have
what
Prism.
do you have? How is it a lot? Like, how many do you have?
There's like 15 plus heroes that you can still play.
Oh.
So I'm just going to read. It's faster to read the ones that you can't play. So you can't play OG Dash. You can't play Briar, OG Dory, Bravo, Rhinar, Prism, and Emperor are all not legal to be played.
You can't play the Emperor.
Emperor is 127 LL points.
Wait, how many arcane?
There is the only arcane in there is Dromai, if you're going to count that. Prism Advent of Thrones, if you're going to count that, and Vincent.
I mean,
those are the only arcane heroes.
AB1 at worst?
Yes. Okay.
If you choose to bring AB.
Yes.
Interesting.
This format is
Shiana. Thank you, Darth. Thank you, Mr. Prentice.
Yes. This format is really interesting because we look at Blitz as a whole, and it's like OG Dash just is strictly better than Data Dash. Like starting with Pounder out and at 20 health is just straight up better than whatever Data Dash can do. Like, Fi is just better than Katsu. Like the assassins don't really have play because the format's just kind of too bursty. Briar's just better than Vincent. And then suddenly like you have this format where it's like there's no wizard.
Yeah. Like we haven't had that in a while.
Your only guardian is Yoji, who has no hero text except start at 22.
Well, that's a pretty good hero text.
That's not nothing.
Also, his hero text does say Guardian, so that's a hero text.
It does say Guardian. Yeah, so I've been working with Mara on some of the stuff for this event. Yeah. Vincent is underrated, especially in Blitz.
Yeah, Vincent goes
especially in Blitz because Blitz is not about being like Vincent has problems with consistency in CC. You do not have those problems in Blitz because the format's so fast.
Okay, I am going to stop you to go back to the original take or the original comment, which was to telling me what I should be expecting on Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. Yeah. So the other 3 rounds that day
3 rounds
are heavy hitters blitz. There's 7 rounds total. 4 of them are underdog blitz.
Okay.
3 of them are heavy hitters blitz pre-con.
Blitz pre-con. Okay. All right.
Like the blitz
I'm following. Yeah. Okay. Interesting segue.
Pre-con is a format.
It's okay in a competitive sense.
It's not.
Is this a competitive format?
It's not. No,
it's
people
fun.
don't want
It's
to play
silly.
it.
I want to play it.
No, you don't. You didn't show up for it.
Well, that's probably unrelated. I don't show up to a lot of things I probably should.
That's fair. Same.
Hey, but I go to armories sometimes, so
you do now. You do.
I didn't go last week, but I'm going this week.
Yeah.
All right, so Blitz pre-con, Kevin's favorite format, and then what else?
So day 2 starts with 3 rounds of solo. Is CC, except you can only use cards from heavy hitters.
Like from
heavy hitters,
a box set. Like if you're a brand new person with Flesh and Blood, you buy a heavy hitters box, and this is what you're bringing to your armory.
No. Well,
no.
Essentially,
yes.
But like, so everyone who's at Celebrational and participating gets an entire play set of heavy hitters for free.
Why wasn't I invited? What do I gotta do? Someone call Alex. Frick.
Yeah. So they have an entire play set of heavy hitters with which to build a CC.
Oh my gosh.
And that is 3 rounds of this event.
I want to see a list of who all's going.
Dope.
Holy frick.
And then the last 3 rounds are Living Legend format, which this LL format has had no events since the...
With the restrictions.
With the restrictions. I think these restrictions are actually surprisingly healthy for the game.
Okay, yeah, we talked about it a little bit previously on a different stream. So yeah, your thoughts now that it's been a minute?
I think Starvo's still a totally fine hero.
Okay,
like, he's still a good hero. I don't know that he will dominate the format. I think he will have issues against OG Prism.
We all do.
40 life is very different from, I have issues 40 life is still a lot for him to work through, but he is very much leaning into the kind of 3-card 13s plus a Frostbite that you love. Yeah.
Everyone loves. What the frick?
He's leaning on Winter's Wail. I played a bunch of Starvo into Mara's new Prism, Awakener of Soul with all the figments.
Yeah.
The deck was still very real. It was still good. Starvo is not dead. He's not. Like,
is he the hero?
I don't think he's the hero.
Who's
I
the
only
hero?
played Starvo into Prism. So there's a chain build that's running around that is Runegate chain.
What?
Chain ability, Spellblade Assault, Runegate card.
Hold on a minute.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that just sounds like Viscerai, but easier and better? Less cards. It sounds like it's like the quote unquote tempo Viscerai. It's not tempo. The like aggro linear Viscerai plan that's like Mauve Skies card value sword.
It's value chain.
But it's better because it's instead of playing a Mauve Skies, you activate chain. Yeah. And then you get to play a card for free instead of Rosetta Thorn, and it's going to be bigger.
Yeah. You just get a 0 for 6.
Ew, it's like a 2-card 50.
Yeah, so that's what's happening.
5,
also,
6.
so Starvo's there, Stubby's Phi is there, Prism is there still. Stubby's Phi is just gonna blow people the fuck up. Both the rune blades are there, Chain and Briar. And then Viserai is there. Someone will show up with OTK Vis.
Someone will show up with it, yeah,
and they'll die. They probably have a pretty good matchup into Starvo now, actually, that he's just
really
kind of raw val. He has no disruption. He has no way to make you discard cards or put them on the bottom reliably.
God damn.
OTK Viserai doesn't care about Frostbites. He doesn't care about Winter's Wail. And Winter's Wail is like what actually can make a difference. The thing is, Chain can run Belittle if he wants to. Briar can run Belittle if she wants to, and Fi will run Belittle. So Winter's Wail is like slightly lower effect. And then Ice Lexi.
Ice Lexi.
Think about how consistent Lexi was
when Yuki was playing her in PT1.
Somewhere between Yuki PT1 and Lexi at the end of Outsiders meta.
Make that Michael Scott face where he goes,
yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a pretty consistent deck. Codex of Frailty is still a messed up card. Hypothermia is now restricted. So, yeah.
So I assume Victor is not going to see much play in LL yet.
I don't think so.
Rough.
It says Guardian at the bottom of his card, but it doesn't say 30 health on his young version or 60 health on his adult version. So,
or Elemental.
So Living Legend is the last 3 rounds of Celebrational, and then it cuts to a top 2 who play a best of 3 formats to decide it on Friday.
What are the 3 formats?
I believe. No, it might just be
3 formats. Do you vote on the format?
Yeah, it's got to be Underdog, Blitz, LL, and Heavy Hitter Solo. Should be the 3 formats.
Like and first place picks the first one, and then second, or whoever loses picks the second one.
Loser picks the second one. Loser picks the third if need be.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be.
And that is the only thing that happens Friday. Is that is 3?
That is the coolest crap I've ever heard in my entire life.
This is awesome.
This is what Pro Tours should look like. This is what Worlds should look like. No, but these are super cool. If we don't get one of these next year, I'm gonna be pissed. What the frick? This sounds awesome.
So,
oh my gosh,
this event is so cool. It's not meant to be hyper competitive, but it's going to be really freaking interesting because you have like 4 or 5 like hyper competitive players, and then you have a bunch of people who are just going to bring whatever they want, which is guaranteed to be dope because nobody knows any of these formats. There's no data on any of these formats, so everything is up in the air. Like,
it's so exciting!
Like, this is
my God.
This is an event that I want to for at some point in this game. I don't think it's now. I want this to happen every year.
I want to play in it. Like, I want to play in it. This sounds super dope.
Yeah, this is your kind of event.
Yeah,
everything is janky.
I just want to play in a format where it's like, it's just so it's absolutely what I want because it is multiple as you said, it's multiple unknown formats, and I can you can just bring the jank. Especially if there's like no like if you're getting to do all the rounds, regardless, except for Friday,
you get to play
then
13
you can just
rounds
do whatever
no
you want.
What.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Yeah. And I could do some rounds where it's like I completely throw with terrible decks, and then I could do some rounds where it's just like I want to play value. I want to build engines.
You're going to play Oldham in LL.
Yeah, I am, and I'm going to have the best freaking time and run out of time. Piss off the person I'm playing against.
You're going to frustrate the shit out of so many people.
Oldham's fun. I just love Crown of Seeds. It's such a silly card.
You're not a Guardian main. You're a Crown of Seeds main.
Yeah.
Like Charles Dunn.
Yeah,
Like
Crown of Seas
I've
is
said
great.
this before. This is a not that hot take, but people haven't thought about it. Charles Dunn is not a Guardian player. He's a Crown of Seeds player.
Is it kind of like how
he was an Olden player, and he literally took Briar to LL.
I love that. I love that so much. He's my hero. It kind of reminds me of
before the next Earth hero.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me when like Brendan was getting hyped about the new Shadow Runeblade, but at the same time he was like, they're not reprinting chain. They're not doing. It's not going to be chain, and it's like
it's not going to be chain.
It's like some people weren't Shadow players, they weren't Runeblade players like they thought they were. They were just, I like the idea of drawing 5 cards every turn, or 7, or 9, or 33. It's just, I understand it. Do you want to bring in Mr. Darth Prentice? Yeah, Mr. Greg?
I'll go grab him.
The Drakai of Sound? Which, by the way, go ahead and grab him.
Yeah, all right, I'll go grab him.
All right. I do want to give a shout out to Darth Prentice for following us on Twitch, which is where we're streaming right now. We're streaming on Twitch, and if you want to talk to us, all you got to do is show up in the Twitch. We'll have a Discord link. You can join the link. You can just tell us your hot takes and then show up on air. You're going to be like Greg is right now, talking to us about whatever spicy crap you got planned. Holy frick. And I think his is kind of spicy. I'm interested. Actually, it seems more like a PSA, which is what I'm really excited about. Holy frick. Oh, I didn't turn that off. Greg, you're messing everything up. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Screw up. There we go. We got it. Okay. So, caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, hello. I'm Darth Prentice. I'm calling from Kansas. First time, long time.
Oh my gosh. Kansas. What do you want to talk about on the show?
Yeah, I just want to talk about how Fab players have been describing cards wrong basically the entire time the game has existed. They need to knock it off.
Whoa, that's spicy. Care to elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, so if I ask you to describe Snatch for me, how would you describe Snatch?
1 card, 4 with go again.
Okay, yes. But
no.
Well, okay, so the way people say it is it's a 0 for 4 with go again.
Snatch doesn't have go again.
Oh wait, no, we're talking about Snatch. I don't know why. I was thinking Scar for a Scar. I was just immediately thinking of Scar for a Scar. I was just like, what's the standard red card? Oh, it's the one that starts with an S. That's Scar for a Scar.
You are correct. They are describing cards wrong.
I am describing. Oh my gosh. This is why you can't get anything straight on broadcasts, is because people talk about cards like that. Snatch, 0 for 4 on hit, draw a card.
Yes, okay, but that's wrong and stupid.
Oh,
so it's a 4 for 0. It's a 4 for 0.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it's been a pet peeve of mine basically the entire time I've been playing this game. Which, for context, is I came in just before Tales released, and
same.
It's always driven me crazy how people are like, "Oh man, it's all about value. You got to get your 0 for 4s, your 7 for 3s, all this stuff." And it's like, no, like, no. you need to say it the right way.
Okay, say the right way again for us again. 7 for 3.
Because everybody describes Wounded Bull as a 3 for 7, right?
3 for 8.
Or 3 for 8, yeah. But it's not
2 for 8. It's just
whatever the number is.
So, yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yes, it's definitely me drawing a very arbitrary line in the sand. But again, it's just something that has driven me crazy, and I think they should just describe it the right way. Because I don't know about you guys, but I came from Magic, right? And if I was to ask you what a bear is in Magic, how would you describe a bear?
2 mana, 2/2 with no text.
Right. Yeah, a 2/2 for 2, right?
2/2 for 2, so, yes.
Yeah, so you're describing the power and toughness, and then the cost.
The
so
value
it's just
for the cost.
Yes, exactly. That's in the brain of Darth
2242.
over here, that's the way it should be. But
I wish I had a whiteboard right here. I could just start like mathing it out for myself.
yeah,
So let's break down that sentence. Okay, so I'm going to play a Raging Onslaught red. I'm describing it to my opponent without saying the name. I'm going to fill me in.
7 for 3.
7 for 3. Okay. So if we break that down, into what it means, it's I'm going to do 7 damage for 3 cost.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, the way a lot of more modern Flesh and Blood pro, semi-pro players like to do is they evaluate the cards not based on their individual cost, but the physical cost of how many cards it takes. So Raging Onslaught is 2 cards. Is that relevant, or like compared to the cost of the card?
That is a wonderful question, William. I'm really glad that you asked that. I would have to actually contemplate this beyond my my random fly in the ointment thing here. Okay, so I guess then set the puzzle up for me then. How would you describe that? Because it's a 2 card 7 at that point, right?
I'm still trying to imagine how I'm getting flies in my ointment, but
you don't want them in the ointment though. You got to take them out. Nobody wants a fly in the ointment.
Wait, is this a real expression? Oh my gosh, wait, hold on a second. You're blowing my mind right now. A single thing or person that is spoiling a situation that could have been very positive or enjoyable. Fly in the ointment. What the frick? I'm like, talk to Kevin. I'm looking up the etymology of fly in the ointment.
I think it's Peruvian.
Sure.
Okay, so it's interesting because what you're talking about for like, because you're saying you're getting 4 value for 0 cost, is what you're saying is like the way that your brain puts it, and it's like implied, like there's an implied value after the first number and cost after the second number.
Yes.
The way you approach it.
Yes.
But it's if you're saying 2 card 7 or 2 card 8 for like Wounded Bull, or 1 card 4 for Scar, or 3 card 12 for Scar Wounded Bull, like I'm an Icelander player, so like that's where my brain goes.
True.
If you're going to say card first but then value second, is that not what they're doing with cost into value?
Absolutely. But I think that I also think that's wrong.
8 for 2.
8 for 2 cards, 12 for 3 cards.
Yes.
12 for 3.
Backwards.
Right, but see, that's the thing, right? It's colloquially become the way that Flesh and Blood players have spoken, so that's kind of been ingrained now, right? It just drives me bananas, and I think it's wrong.
Okay,
Again,
so I have
not logical, but
no, it's fine. I'm going to take a second to read this excerpt from the Free Dictionary. The expression probably comes from the Bible. Ecclesiastes 10:1, dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. And in that, I'm going to go on to the next step, which is if this is the correct way to say it, and let's pretend you can convince anyone, this is everyone, you can correct everyone that this is the correct way to do it. And everyone's like, yeah, that makes sense, but it's like stuck in my head. How do we go forth and change the change the culture of Flesh and Blood to say it differently?
Oh, sweet Christmas, man. I wish I knew. I think it starts with just, a good grassroots talk like this, like just this little TED talk that we've had here. From there, I think we should probably start a mailing list. That or...
it's 2024. Emailing list.
Implied.
Well, sure,
implied just like value and cost.
That, or I was thinking maybe about I think I was going to maybe write a book and maybe form some sort of like I don't know, like a covenant amongst a team to then be able to like go about and spread the good word of this. I just need to, I don't know, maybe get some like skinny ties and some short
like
sleeve button ups.
Like a team covenant?
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of a dumb name, but
The ties and button ups don't really match with that, it feels like.
Okay. Okay, so here's my thought is you need to get buddy with a prominent, okay, so where do people hear about the game mostly, right? Like what is a name, what's like a singular voice that would use that expression regularly that a lot of new players would catch on to quickly from? I'm thinking... Okay, yeah, Mansam, but I was, I'm specifically thinking of like casting teams, right? And so if you could lock Flake in a closet, and
with Armada,
yeah, and just
right.
absolutely, yeah, you need to get these people so on board that then when they're doing coverage, they're naturally doing this for all the new people.
Yep, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna write letters to Flake and DM Armada every day until they start doing
letters,
this.
Man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Nothing says I'm serious about this like spending 38 cents per stamp.
That is more than it costs to bug them on Twitter. So I guess that
exactly
your point is 38 cents more valid than anyone on Twitter.
I will tag each of those letters with #commitment.
That's great. Holy frick. Yeah, I don't know. My brain is too like I'm having trouble getting the words out regularly, like normally, and so whatever numbers come out of my mouth is typically the first thing. So I think it would need to be some kind of systemic change that would make my subconscious read cards in that way. Otherwise,
I actually want to push back a little bit on that.
Okay.
The entire, I guess, not thesis, but the way that game system is even built on, it's you declare what you're doing and then you pay the cost, right?
That's not true. That's not. I played a video game. I played a video game and it said pitch the card and then play it. In Flesh and Blood, I pitched a card and then I played it in a video game on their website.
This is true, and again, this is me being old man wags fist at cloud.
Have you played the video game, Kevin? The Flesh and Blood?
Not theirs.
Their tutorial video.
I played the good one, not theirs.
Dang! Don't dunk on Fell Table like that. I love Fell Table.
Oh, Fell Table's fine.
So right.
I did a lot when I was starting out. But it is true that it's like in the rules that
right.
You can kind of do it either way, but it is supposed to be play the card then the cost. So that makes sense.
That's why the card.
I think that also supports my thesis of the card that I'm playing is a 7 power attack for 3. If we're still using Raging Onslaught Red as our backbone there.
Best card in Flesh and Blood, other than the blue.
I mean,
James White himself said that.
One.
James White quoted saying, "Blue Raging Onslaught underrated."
I think he said Thunderquake was a mistake, but yeah,
that's also true. Also, in the context that I'm talking about, the only set was Welcome to Wraith at the time, but.
True,
so maybe better cards have come out since then.
Like Fighting Spirit Blue?
Yes, like Fighting Spirit. Holy frick, that card's broken.
Seriously, ban that card, LSS.
Wait, hold on a minute.
Don't do
that. Holy frick. Okay. All right. Thank you for the call. Is there anything else you wanted to shout out? Like our Patreon?
Oh yeah, I would love to actually shout out the Table Pit Patreon. It's great. Everybody should go check that out.
Well, thank you. Oh my gosh. Also, you just came out with a new YouTube video today yourself.
It's true. If any of you are content creators and have an interest in improving your sound quality, you can learn how to build an isolation booth for your setup for less than $100. Check out my Twitter at Darth_Prentice.
You could do it in your room.
I could.
Have you seen what his setup is? The setup he had in the video, at least?
Nope.
Okay.
I will be checking it out. I have not.
We're going to get you
similar to your room right now.
Yeah, we're going to get you like a Hollywood makeover for your apartment room house. It's going to be insane.
TLC show
sign in there.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be like the in between rounds at the invitational, the celebrational is just going to be snippets from the new Halishar bedroom makeover.
Yeah, they got exhibit. I don't know how LSS landed it, but it's gonna be nuts. Your whole bed is gonna be a fishbowl. I hope that's okay.
Holy frick!
Something worse.
Holy frick! It's gonna be. We're just gonna turn your bedroom into what it looks like to be inside of a really cool LGS.
I'm down, dude.
If your bedroom looked like Blade. One. Yeah. What?
Just wait. Next house.
Just wait. What does that mean? Oh, next house. You should just move into the upstairs of an LGS. Next house. Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a house and turn it into an LGS.
Oh frick! Oh, that's even better. Oh my gosh, genius! Holy frick! This is why we have him on here. All right. Thank you so much for the call. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Enjoy your rest. Because we were told that Greg was calling in from sleeping on his bed, I believe, just chilling. You will say what?
But, yeah.
Well, not sleeping. I'm sleeping.
In between rounds, like if you're the first person to finish the first table to finish your round at celebrational, is gonna be like there's gonna be like just 6 other games, and you're gonna be like, watch this one.
That's gonna be so dope because the list of people that are gonna be there is so cool. Yeah,
it's gonna feel like a 14-person armory that has 7 rounds.
That's so cool. I think it's super cool.
And there's gonna be like 5 people tryharding it, and like 9 people who are like,
just like a regular armory.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sick.
Just slinging cardboard.
The celebrational armory. All right.
I'm so fucking excited. But also, I want to, after this place, I want to have my own house. I want to have a game room, whether that's basement or whatever, which is pool table and TCG table, which is at least 8 people.
And is also just a pool table.
Probably not also a pool table. But it would split in half, so you can have 4 tables in a row, or you can move it around or whatever. And it's like the exact dimensions to have 4 tables of Flesh and Blood or whatever.
That's super cool.
Based on like the 24x14 playmat. Like
that would be super cool, dude. That would be super cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. I want it to be like an hour like west of where I'm at, so it's closer to you guys, and I can still drive to work if I need to, and they want me in the office or whatever. Makes sense. Well, how far away from where we are you? Like 3.5, 4 hours. But then like I can do draft camps for Pro Tour prep. I guess that makes sense, right? Like a 2-hour drive. It's not nearly as bad as like a 2.5 or however long, like a 3-hour drive. Yeah. I don't know. That's a decent day where like you get here at like noon, we draft 2 or 3 times, and then everyone heads home or chills for the night, and then does it again the next day and then drives home. Get there at like, 8 a.m. 4 a.m. No. Leaving like your place at 8 a.m.
Oh,
Like,
you
it's
want
when
us? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'll host. I'll host. I'll have food. Okay. All right. Fine. Whatever.
I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, okay, so you'll be pulling. Let's see. You'll be pulling people in from like Richmond,
Charlottesville, East Virginia, Nova, maybe North Carolina, but probably not. Like, I'd be down to host like a 16 or 24 person draft camp. I'm down to make that a weekend.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I feel like the kind of player that you bring in, I'd feel like I'm trolling the whole time. Like the caliber of player you're bringing in, you're like, William, your round one opponent, Michael Hamilton. And it's like, oh, frick.
Not quite. There's only 2 Wolfpack members.
Wait, who's the other one? Who's the other one?
Merrick.
Oh, I forgot Merrick was a Wolfpack member.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Merrick also made Wolfpack at the same time Mara did.
Oh. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think he's not on social media, so there was like no announcement or anything for
Should be on social media. What is he doing?
He freaking should be. He won a freaking calling. He could have had a spoiler card for Bright Lights, and Mara and I are both looking at him like, you're a dingus.
Kids these days.
Could have had a free card.
Kids these days.
He didn't.
I don't know.
He just wanted to sit there and he's like, nah, nobody cares about the people who win callings that are alongside tier 4 events. And I'm like,
that was like one of the biggest callings, right? Am I thinking of the right one? It was the biggest calling.
It was the biggest calling at the time. It was the biggest Flesh and Blood event that ever happened. There was a larger event at Worlds, which was a Sagrada Sigil side event on Sunday, which is the biggest Flesh and Blood event that I think has ever happened. I'm not sure if it broke 1K or not. It was at least 950, I think. The calling in Baltimore was like 910.
God dang.
I think Merrick, if I remember correctly, Merrick went 6-2 into 8-0 on day 2.
Holy frick. 8-0 on day 2. Gross.
He didn't drop a game in Swiss on day 2 and then won out for the win. So the dude's a gamer. Like every time I talk to him,
total gamer.
He blows my mind. Like he just he understands the game super well. He has like great fundamentals. Like I teamed with him for Team Sealed and Outsiders in 2nd Baltimore in like June of last year. And like we gave him a really mid Benji deck and he went like 5-2 or something. Like we gave Mara a nuts Azuri deck and she went 6-1. He got a mid Benji deck at 5 and went 5-2. And I had a trash Azalea deck and I went 2-5. Like
holy frick.
They're both gamers. They both deserve to be on Wolfpack. I'm very excited to see what they do in like the next year. Cause like, especially like Mara's going to get a bunch of level ups in Wolfpack. For her fundamentals of gameplay, not just like she's going to teach them a bunch about Dromai, but like none of them can teach her anything about Dromai. She understands it better than any of them, just straight up. But like her fundamentals are going to get so much better. Merrick's going to get way better understanding of the game as a whole. Like his dash knowledge is excellent. I don't know if I can say second to none. I don't know enough dash players, but like they both deserve it. They're going to do great. I'm super excited. And if I can get a draft camp that's like 16 people pulling from all over the state, I'm going to do it. And I'll host that weekend. I'll pay for all of it. I don't give a shit. I'm going to have the money for it.
Dope. As someone who doesn't have the money for it, let's freaking go. See, I will
have the money for it.
Holy frick. Like I need to go ahead and make this content creation a full-time job. No. So that way my hobby is not content creation. It's playing Flesh and Blood.
True.
Because holy frick, if there's one thing I'm not doing in Flesh and Blood, it's playing enough of it, and I don't have time to play as much as I want to, right? So I go content creation for the first time. Like the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna steal your bit and do the 1 million games on stream again. I'm gonna steal that bit. All right.
Race to 100 losses? Go for it.
Yeah. First to 100 losses.
Somebody else used that. and they didn't cite it properly. I think it was I'm not going to say because I'm pretty sure I'm remembering it wrong, but I remember seeing somebody on Twitter be like
they misquoted the like proverb or something.
They misquoted it or they misattributed it, where it's like they thought it was like legit, like actually get to 100 losses as fast as you can, but it's like your first 100 losses are going to teach you the most. It's like, no, you want to lose 100 games as fast as possible because you will learn the most.
Yeah. Holy frick.
Which I think somebody literally just straight up said that about Flesh and Blood, which is 100% true. Like, Flesh and Blood it's so consistent that like it's almost a direct application.
Yeah. So like that absolutely is the case for something like chess or
Go.
Chess or Go, and it mostly applies. It mostly applies to Flesh and Blood, and I think I would say poker. I think I would say poker, but also maybe other games too.
Poker maybe not quite as much, but I think there's a lot more. I think it's pretty close.
I think people can just fall into, this is my hot take. I think people can fall into the camps of I need to like, they're like, I need to learn everything about this game, and then they don't play any of it. Or it's, I need to just burn myself out on this game playing all of it, and then they don't learn anything because they're not studying it, right? And I think that's a problem, right? 100%. So like I know I'm naturally one of those studiers. There's a Go proverb that says if you own a library of books, you are a bad player, because that just means you're not playing enough. And I'm definitely that person. I would listen to podcasts and do everything else except for sit down and play the game as much as I should. So I don't know. I think that's interesting.
No, I 100% fall on that side as well. I, for a long time, was just watching a bunch of Flesh and Blood and studying Flesh and Blood. I wasn't playing enough. I would play like 2 days a week. I would play Thursdays and Sundays, which were our armories in Roanoke. Yeah. And that was all I would play.
That's all I play right now. Well, I play less than that.
Yeah, but like also I was competing.
Yeah.
So I like that wasn't enough. And now when I moved here, I thought there was only like one armory a week that would fire. There's 5.
Have you done a full week of 5 yet? Have you done the week of 5?
4. Okay.
Do you feel
I went, what is that, 9 and 3?
Oh, that's not bad. That's very positive.
Yeah. And I felt pretty good about it. I need to slightly adjust my mindset because I'm used to the 2 armories a week. So I need to kind of adjust my mindset a little bit to where this is me playing more and I'm going to be studying less, because I was doing a lot of studying before and not nearly as much playing as I was studying, especially since I was unemployed before.
Is there as many Guardians over there as there was Guardian Dents over here? Because I play
a touch less because there was you and Tim.
Well, it was me and Tim and Diana and Aaron and.
But not all of you would always show up.
True.
And Tim wouldn't always play Bravo.
Also true.
There's one player who plays Bravo pretty consistently, which I haven't lost to him on Bravo yet, playing Dromai.
Wow. God dang.
Credit to Mara's new list. I have not lost to Bravo since she switched the list for the 20K in Columbus.
Don't hurt me like that. Okay. Is there any names over there that I'd recognize?
Jody Burney. He top 8'd Richmond Battle Hardened last year. He's a Big Dragon Dromai player. There's a couple other names that we've seen like up to Charlottesville and PQs, but I don't think I've had any breakouts beyond that. They're all pretty solid players. I have to work for every win. There's no freebies. I'm not playing against new players.
That's actually really cool.
Scene. But I showed up and I'm like, to like one armory. I thought it was the one armory a week. And they're like, yeah, you can play almost an event almost every day if you want to. And I'm like,
It's so hype.
they're
It's like,
not on the site though.
it's like that's so.
Put your
that's
event
so
on
weird.
the site.
Tell him that. It reminds me of when they did an interview with the not current Malaysian national champion, but the lady who won with Reinar. And she was like, she was like, well, it's super easy. I can play Flesh and Blood whenever I want. We have somewhere between 7 and 14 armories a week. And I'm like, what the frick?
Yeah, dude.
You could just play 2 a day.
What was it like? He was sometime he doesn't do this anymore.
My gosh.
He said he used to play like 7 armories a week.
Oh my gosh.
And he's cut back to 5. You want to know why he's cut back to 5?
Travel
he's
time?
testing with the Wolf Pack. I'm sorry. Do you want better
gets
practice?
his hours in gets his hours in elsewhere. Okay. All right, let's move on to another topic. I wanted to bring up, and I think me and you have talked about it already, is I think, contrary to popular Twitter belief, I want you to argue it with me a little bit, but the new card, I'm gonna pull the name up so I say it right. Miller's GrindStone is not a good card.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll elaborate a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So Miller's GrindStone, once per turn action, pay 3, attack, deals 4 damage. It's guardian weapon. It only sits in one hand. This is pretty average.
Base, one-handed hammer.
Yeah. So when this hits a hero, clash with them. If you win, destroy the top card of their deck. If they win, put a -1 counter on this. Not good. Bad.
Okay.
In a competitive CC mindset, bad.
Okay. So I'm gonna put some notes out for this first, real quick.
Okay. Okay.
It has to be when it hits a hero, not an ally.
Oh, true.
So you can attack dragons freely with this. You can attack angels freely with this.
Because you have to clash.
Yes. It has to be one, it has to be at a hero. 2, it has to hit a hero to clash.
True.
If you win, destroy the top card of their deck, excuse me. You have to win the clash. The power of your attack action card has to be higher than the power of whatever card they reveal, if it has one. If they win, put a -1 counter on this. Very serious drawback. The -1 counter sits there. It becomes a 3-for-3 weapon and a very easy block for most decks right now. Yeah, especially with Brute, Guardian, and Warrior getting the buff on this set.
Seen some really nice generic attacks too.
Yes. Not a ton of generic attacks are 3 block, but
I just mean like I don't know. Yeah. I was thinking of something different, but yeah.
As soon as there's one -1 counter, it's big. If there's a draw, nothing happens for this. So if you have the same power, nothing happens, or if they're both non-attacks, nothing happens. That being said, Victor Goldmane's ability, which I assume is the hero that you're playing with this,
probably
because of his text, says if you would fail to win a clash, you may choose a hero to put the top card of their deck on the bottom of their deck. So you can either choose your opponent's card to try and decrease the value, or your card to get a higher value.
By trashing a gold.
By sacking a gold, yes.
Yeah. Which is big. Gold is really good.
Cost.
Gold is really good. In some cases, it's like a free resource whenever you need it. And in some cases, it's like
passion.
Yeah, and some, oh my gosh. Gold is just really good.
Cycle itself plus draw a card. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Frick.
I think this weapon is obviously strongest against Guardian. And this is something that, like, I think we've discussed before. Bolton's cards are very low power relatively, and Dory's cards basically have no power.
Bye.
Fi it's going to be good against. Fi it's going to be actively good against as long as you have enough other on hits. This has to pair. This goes with a certain deck style.
So, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I think this does not go in a deck that has a bunch of D-reacts. It does not go in a deck that has any non-attacks. This goes in a deck that is a very aggressive Guardian deck that can flex to 1-card plays comfortably.
So if you're
sideboard with Titan's Fist, though.
Okay, so if you're playing an aggressive Guardian, let's say you're playing against Fi.
Yeah.
How many times do you expect? Let's say every time you swing this at Fi, he chooses not to block it because that's a waste of space.
Sure.
And let's say every time you win, because on average you should, you built your deck around it. Let's say you high roll and every time you win.
Sure.
How many cards are you getting rid of out of Fi's deck? Over the course of a game?
It depends on your draw and what Fi presents, because I'm not sure if Fi presents, because with this you can run Steelblade Buckler, which is very good against Fi.
Yeah, true.
You get to run an absolute fridge against Fi. You get to run like 15 points of armor against Fi, or 14, I think, is the count. Tech Plating for 3, Crater Fist to get to 6, Providence to get
15.
to 8, Civic Steps to get to 11, Buckler to get to 14.
Providence is probably the right move, but I have the other one, so
you would run Skullcap, so you can get to 15, and honestly, that might actually be good because that could just be an entire card.
So you're starting at 55 health. I mean, but like, how many cards are you getting rid of?
I think you're getting rid of at least. It depends a little bit on your draws.
Yeah.
Whether you're drawing your spinals and stuff like that, because he doesn't have disruptive on hits like Bravo does. He's missing Starstruck and Crippling, which is a lot. Yeah. And the other one is Terror Sunder, which is not an attack. It does not clash well.
True.
It also, Terror Sunder on this Grindstone also just gets covered by Flamescale Furnace or Shuko or Momentum cleanly with one other card.
Yeah.
And Fi's okay with that. That's why he runs those equipment. I think you're probably getting, I think you don't even want to run Terror Sunder in that mashup. And I think you're probably still getting 5 or 6 cards out of his deck, and I think it's not enough. That's what
I'm alluding to here, is that I mean, the amount of cards you kind of want to burn through in their deck with like an active mill like this. I mean, what would you want? Like 15? Like, is that at the point where it's like, oh frick, you're really cutting into their deck at that point?
So yes, but it's sort of, you can't just look at the number of cards that this is milling, quote unquote.
Okay.
You have to look at how many cards you're forcing your opponent to block with on other things like Spinal and Terror Sunder, and that's it. Like,
yeah, but like, no.
He doesn't have
Crush the Weak.
He doesn't have the on hits.
Crush the Weak
for this to force enough cards out of deck.
Right? Is it Crush the Weak? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Crush the Weak is the Fi one. No 3 power or less attacks.
That's the good one. Use that on Bolton too. Use that on Bolton too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's just not. It's not good enough. Like at the point where you're like, you're trying to. Yeah. I don't know.
Like it is very good against Warrior, and that's kind of it, because Warrior is a deck you're comfortable fatiguing anyways, but you can't run D-reacts, which makes it harder to fatigue Warrior. Like you can probably run, which also like Victor's favorite card is Test of Strength, the block card, which doesn't clash well.
Oh my gosh. I got it. Now, this is some Reddit level custom card making. Yeah, this is some Reddit level stuff, right? So the Armed Pit just put in chat, we need a hero that removes -1 counters.
Sure.
What is the perfect card to go. Let's say there's a piece of equipment that says, do a thing. It's got to be a lot. Do a lot. Remove a -1 counter from a piece of equipment or a weapon.
Sure.
Seasoned Savior and the shield. So Seasoned Savior
And the hammer.
Yeah, and this hammer and this millstone thing. So Savior, which has absolutely no play in competitive right now, is a Majestic from Dynasty that says when you equip this, put a -1 counter on it, battle worn, and it blocks for 3. So it really just blocks for 2 and then it blocks for 1. But if you can remove -1 counters from things like this weapon or this shield, and there's a piece of equipment that just lets you do that, like it's like pay 3, remove a -1 counter from something. Is that broken? Like pay 3, like it'd have to be a lot, right? Like it couldn't be nothing. Like it couldn't be like 1 resource, right? 1 resource for remove a -1 counter is ridiculous.
It's too good. That's going to be very often gain 2 health.
Yeah, so like pay 3, like let's say it's tectonic plating, but it says temper and it says pay 3, remove a -1 attack or defense from a card.
So that's strictly worse than swinging Anathos.
Yeah,
which is fine numerically.
Yeah,
on a turn cycle basis, that's fine.
Yeah.
In terms of a long game, I don't think that's correct because that's gain 2, never lose a card from deck.
Could be gain 3. Seasoned Savior.
It could be gain 3 with Savior. It could, because you do it once to go to 2, and then you do it once to go to 3, and then you just get to block for 3 every turn, and then you get to get that 3 block, and you have breakpoints for the rest of your game. I think that's too much. That's broken. One card that has that mechanic, and it is Valiant Dynamos.
Really? I thought there was another card from Dynasty. Reinforced Steel, removing -1 defense counter from a Guardian offhand with 3 or less base.
It's 2 cards.
Yeah, it costs 2 cards.
It's 2 cards plus a card out of your deck. Like, you can't balance it at less.
Reinforced Steel is bad.
Yeah, but you can't balance it at less than that.
My gosh.
Valiant Dynamos is as close as they're going to get. And I think Valiant Dynamos are very well balanced. Swing weapon twice.
Nerves of Steel.
-1 count.
A 3-cost Guardian Blue Aura. When this enters the battlefield, remove a -1 defense counter from a chest equipment you control. Chest equipment specifically. And then Battle Worn and Temper on equipment you control doesn't trigger when it defends an attack with 2 or less attack. Which I think is... I always thought this card was kind of cool. It's destroy this when you're dealt damage. It's cool, but it's like... that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
It's so situational. There's so few. It's so hard to have attacks that are actually less than 2 value and have them be relevant to the point where this card becomes relevant, because you have to have attacks that are less than that value for this to be relevant. So
I don't know. I don't know.
It's very difficult to have this -1 counter effect. Because of
what if it was
works.
All right. Continuing my tinfoil hat. Guardian chest equipment blocks 2. Temper. Pay 4. Remove a -1 defense or attack from a piece of equipment or weapon you control.
If it's a chess piece, sure. Because then
it'd have to be a chess piece, yeah. So
you can't be allowed to tunic it.
No, that would be busted. If I just predicted a legendary in this set, I'm gonna lose my mind. Maybe this is the high that all the people on Reddit get when they're just like, what if we had a brute attack that's like swing big, but it says 12 in the bottom?
It says 12 and it costs 4.
No, it costs 2. The Reddit we're talking about. Listen, none of it makes any sense. Also, it blocks, 4. I don't know. All right. Is there any other topics we wanted to talk about other than the fact that Millstone's bad? It's just, okay. So to recap on Millstone, it's like, it's not doing enough, right? And especially because the deck that you want to play it in is very specific. Actually, okay, that's a question. Let's say it is, I don't run Terrace Hunter. I'm running attacks to make the clash more consistent, but I'm willing to take a small gamble. I put in the block cards that give you gold tokens if you win a clash. I put in Fate for Scenes and Sink Blows. Like, maybe you have like 12 misses on cards that are less than 6 attack.
I think you probably could.
Is that fine?
More than 9, but I think 9 would be your max. Your odds of finding one on the top are still... So 1, if you find it on the top, you still have Victor's ability.
True.
2, you are still more likely to find it in your hand than on top.
Also true. Yeah, so how many...
3 to 1.
How many let's say 6+ attacks should you run?
Off the top of my head, 9 is the answer. That's what is that? 3 out of 5.
I'd like to. Well, I mean, also, like, you might not be running 60 cards. You might not be running 60 cards. You might be running 70 or something. I think I would I would start by testing 15 and just see what happens. So
yeah, that's fair. If you need,
that might not be bad, right? So Sink Below, Fate for Scene, that block card.
It's the issue of how much does that first -1 counter matter.
True.
Because as soon as you're at 2, you're done. That's it. Straight
and
up.
You don't run 2 hammers, is that right? Don't run 2 hammers?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you need to keep enough cards to play your hands out where you need Steel Braid Buckler just as a little bit of that extra cushion where it buys you 1 or 2 more turns to actually send attacks and send numbers where you're pressuring their life total.
And their hands with effects and stuff.
Yes, you pressure their life. I don't think you have enough effects to actually pressure their hand. I think you need to pressure their life total to the point where you can then pressure their hand.
Okay.
Which is, it's the equivalent of like the Tree Frog Dash and how they win the Fi matchup. They pressure their life total enough that they can then pressure their hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
You'll still have pummels.
Yeah.
Or you might still have pummels. You will still have Spinal Crush to threaten that on hit. It's still trading down cards, but that doesn't matter if they're suddenly not going wide enough to actually push damage. Like
CNC, Chokeslam
CNCs are still there. Chokeslams can probably still go there, but they get a little bit weird if you're not on Tunic. Crush the Weaks might be better, but they're meta dependent. Like, Millstone is not. It's not going to break the meta. It sucks for Warrior to play against. It sucks for Wizard to play against.
It doesn't. I don't think it does. Why does it suck for Wizard?
When is Wizard ever winning a clash?
Why does that matter? Like, they just kill you on turn 5 or whatever anyways, right? Like, are you just running like 5 AB and swinging the hammer every turn?
You could.
It's kind of evil. It would be funny if you just like off the top took like a blazing. I don't know. I feel like Wizard, especially Kano, specifically. We're talking about Kano, right?
Sure.
I feel like Kano would just
Kano can
not
run
care.
60 reacts and get them all out of his deck in first cycle, and use them to just cover hammers and whatever attacks, and then
kill you anyways. Yep.
Probably.
I don't think it's. I don't know.
He would do better against Icelander than he would against Kano.
True. Yeah.
Slightly.
With that strategy, weirdly. I guess. Weirdly. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I don't think I said this at the start, but Victor is absolutely like, I don't play Flesh and Blood for the lore. I don't play it for the flavor. If the cards were blank and they all had numbers on it, that's why I would play Flesh and Blood. This game is so good. So this whole time I've been playing it, I have not had a character that I just like resonate with or are just like, that guy is cool. It's always just been like, I like his effects, or I like their cards, or I like their playstyle. But now we got a guy. This is the silliest character in the game. Just the most annoying
smug piece of shit.
One of my favorite archetypes in characters is a bad guy who's just bad, right? So like, I kind of really don't like all the like modern tellings of like bad guys in stories where they have a tragic I was beat by my father as a child. No, I like Victor because he was bad. Yeah, I not all the time, but like, I just want a bad guy to be bad because they're bad and you just hate them, and you can't not hate them. They're just bad.
You don't want them to be relatable.
No, you want to be pissed at them because they're bad, and that is Victor, and you want to punch him in the mouth. That's why Victor makes a better bad guy than anyone in the Demonastery, because he's actually just frustrating. Like, you're just mad. You're like, I want him to lose. Yes, you actively want him to lose, and I love that. This is the best character they've ever come out with, in my opinion. I'm gonna be playing the crap out of him. I'm gonna just be playing regular Bravo, but like Brendan Patrick says, Bravo has no hero text. It's just gonna be Victor, but he actually has no hero text.
Yeah.
His hero text says that one block card, that name I keep forgetting, just replaces itself. Test of Strength replaces itself. That's its
0 for 4 replaces itself.
Text. Yeah,
that's a hell of a card.
Pretty good.
That's a hell of a fucking card.
Holy frick! I'm so excited.
Imagine if Sync Below just said draw a card and not. You didn't have to bottom a card; it just said draw a card.
Ooh, I'm so excited! All right, Victor's super cool.
Good, man.
Yeah.
You can run the blues of that too. They swing hammer, but they block for 2 and place themselves.
You're pushing it there, but I like that's true.
That's a 1 card 6.
5? Well, no, you're replacing yourself with something that swings a hammer for 4. I get so caught up in calling any card 3, so all cards are just value 3, but that's not true.
Until you swing hammer.
Cards should be base value 4. Everyone should compare cards to a value of 4.
That's what Mara does.
I think it's right. Well, it was like Michael Hamilton in one podcast. He was like,
"Oh my goodness."
He was like, "It's not a good hand."
13.
No, he was like, "It's not a good hand unless its value is 14 or higher."
Yeah,
I think this was
average.
Yeah,
14 or higher is better.
Yeah, it's not good unless it's 14 or higher. And it's like, oh my gosh. I was like, wow, I feel lucky. I got 12 out of this hand.
Some hands you're like, man, I got 12 out of this. That's dope. And then some hands you're like, this was 17.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
All right.
So you want to look at the other side of that?
Oh my gosh.
Block 4, draw, blue, swing, hammer. That's a 1 card 8.
Gross. And you have the gold token. Oh! I love it. All right. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about? That's so good.
Not at the moment. I will say I think Overpower is better for the game than Dominate.
Okay, real quick. Pat said...
Depending on what Armpit said.
Wait, what did you say?
So Armpit said... The Armed Pit, not Armpit, said when these Dominate heroes rotate, he's going to be a problem. I don't think he's going to be a problem. I think Overpower is healthier for the game than Dominate.
As someone who dominates, I disagree, but go ahead.
I think Overpower...
No, I do. I agree. I agree.
Is still... I underestimated how close it would be to Dominate.
It's really close.
I thought it would be further away.
No, it's really close.
Think it will be.
If wagers are good,
so
Betsy
close.
is really close to Bravo, like really close.
Betsy's value engine could be nuts.
The problem with Betsy I thought about the other day was just that she doesn't work with Anathos the way that Bravo does in Limited. I'm so curious what her weapon's going to be.
Yeah.
But that's getting off topic.
We still need to see
some weapons.
For, like, half these people.
Yeah, we need weapons. Yeah. This isn't even Victor's weapon.
No.
I mean, it is, but it might be
not. It's not his token weapon.
It's not his token weapon.
Yeah. Which also, are we going to have rare weapons for other heroes? For other classes?
I feel like we'll at least get one for each of them, right? Like
I would think so.
I could see a world where they try,
which means
where they feel like they need to put more cards for one class than another. But I feel like for this draft set, like it's going to be almost a 30. It's going to be a 1/3 split for each class. So
it's going to be like 25,
I think it's going to be close.
25.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, but like it's going to be a very even split. So like I feel like we're getting a rare weapon.
Yeah. This is going to feel very similar to Outsiders.
Centauri Sabers is rare.
It's a token.
It was rare in Crucible.
It was rare in Crucible, which was not a draft set. It does have the token symbol in the bottom left for heavy hitters.
Okay.
So we have not seen a weapon.
So we know one weapon.
Olympia's weapon. We have not seen his signature weapon. We have not seen Betsy's signature weapon.
Do we know we're getting 6 token weapons?
I don't know.
Because so in the pre-release pack that you get the double-sided rare cards, you get the cold foil, and you get 6 hero weapon cards. But they didn't show any pictures for the hero weapon cards.
So I'm not sure if that is like front side Olympia, backside Saber, front side Kasai, backside Olympia weapon. I'm not
sure. For a while, I thought it would be like 3 token weapons. After I saw Millstone, 3 token weapons, 3 rare weapons, and it's like Guardians just run Betsy's weapon, but then Victor might be able to run his weapon if he draws it.
Victor has Millstone as his signature weapon.
Yeah. But then he runs Betsy's weapon normally.
Saber is the warrior weapon, but then Olympia has a rare weapon.
I thought that might be the case, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's 6.
That gets weird when it's
tokens. KO gets it? No. Yeah, you're right. This is just going to be 6 token weapons. All right.
I think there's going to be 6 token weapons.
Yeah, but makes sense.
I'm very excited for the 15th.
Freaking out. Oh, okay. So, real quick, Pat said, "Will KO make Berserk a ban target?" No. All right. Thank you for.
Quick asterisk.
Okay, go ahead.
Is going to do it. It's going to be KO.
Yeah, it's going to be him.
It is KO yet.
I don't think it's him.
I want to see the rest of this set. Anyone who makes a deck tech before we have the entire set, don't watch it. Don't support it. It's a waste of their time and a waste of yours.
But I saw a gameplay video where they did it. It was Victor versus somebody. It's
going to be good for another week.
Oh man. Okay. So, what was I going to get at? Before we get off, we are at the Table Pit. We're coming out with a video this weekend. Very hype. If you haven't seen the videos or the pictures of it yet, there's a big box with a lot of cards in it. I tried to, this is maybe spoilers. It's not going to be in the video because I couldn't get it to work, but I went on Guinness Book of World Records last night, and their site was down for maintenance. Otherwise, I would be contacting them just as like a... Ooh, all right. So check that out this weekend. Hopefully, I'm trying to get it out before Monday because I think spoilers start dropping on Monday, and it's like I don't want to try to compete with that over the internet. So I'm going to try to get it out Sunday, but we'll see what happens. Might be Saturday, might be Monday. I guess I'm off Monday. Monday's Martin Luther King Day in the States. True. So it might be Monday because I'll get to work on it then. But thank you all so much for watching. I think that wraps it up. Kevin, do you have any shout outs?
Table Pit, Patreon,
Heck
Discord.
Heck yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Flail one-handed, guardian weapon one-handed.
Flail. Where did they get this? Oh my gosh.
This is just Twitter. I don't know. Fab articles, heavy hitters, celebration promos, FAQ.
Holy frick. This is live, hard-hitting news right now.
Yeah. I'm going to see what information I can glean from these.
Okay. Parrying blade. Let me zoom in.
This is a weapon with a block value.
Wait, where? Wait,
Parry blade.
Wait, it's a 0. This gets +2 while defending a weapon attack? Oh my gosh.
Blade break.
Blade break? Is it one-handed? I can't see. It's got to be one-handed, right? So you're on one of these.
Warrior weapon equipment. Sword one-handed.
That's super cool. This gets +2 while defending a weapon attack.
I had a friend suggest this, and I told them it would never happen, but I didn't anticipate the blade break.
Okay, wait. Okay, the next one.
Hot streak.
Wait. Are these all rare? No, wait.
These are rare. So Parry Blade is rare. Hot Streak is rare. Miller's Grindstone is rare. High Riser is not. Meat Axe is rare. Ball Breaker is rare.
Okay,
There's a bunch of rare weapons.
Holy frick. Oh, wait, let's go. I'm still looking at them in order. I'm trying not to look at them. So Hot Streak, Warrior Weapon, one-handed sword, 2 for 1, 2 damage for 1. See, I'm using Greg's methodology. When this is defended by 1 or more attack action cards, Hot Streak's attack can't go again?
Hot Streak's attacks, plural, get go again this turn.
When this is defended by 1 or more attack action cards. Oh my gosh. Wait, is that really, really good?
That's
really
entirely
good, right?
dependent on your ability to attack twice with it. And I'm not sure, but that might be
Hot Streaks, right?
That might be two-handed. I'm not 100% sure.
It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell.
Miller's Grindstone, we know that. High Riser, yes. Guardian Weapon, one-handed. You can't read these. 3 attack, 3 cost.
One-handed or two-handed.
If you've drawn a card this turn, it gets +1. If you've drawn a card this turn,
so if you've cracked a gold,
+1. If you've cracked a gold, this is fine and limited. Obviously, this has no play when you have Titan's Fist.
I think Titan's Fist is strictly better.
Because this is 3 for 3 a lot of the time, actually.
Yes.
If you have to block out except for a blue, you're going to need a gold token. You can't. I don't know. That's really interesting.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. If your first attack is not able to get go again, but you have to wait.
What?
No, damage is after after winning wagers. Or winning wagers is after damage, so the draw card is after damage. So winning a wager with Victor for gold, drawing a card does not. The +1 on this doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, mini meat axe, brute weapon axe. I'm assuming it's one-handed. 2 for 3. That sounds pretty brute. When this attacks, draw a card, then discard a random card. That sounds familiar. That sounds kind of familiar.
I don't like that.
2 for 3.
That's bad.
It is a mini meat axe because it reminds me of the other meat axe.
That's just mill yourself 1 for attacking.
You create a... When this attacks, draw
a card. It's a KO thing.
You can get... Well, I mean, you can get an Intimidate.
You get an Intimidate. No, you get the Vigor or whatever it is, or a Might.
Might token for KO, but you get an Intimidate for Rhinar.
You don't care, though.
I mean, you might care. You do something with Go Again. Block 2 cards,
I guess if you do something with Go Again and you Yeah, if you get to int him like 2 or 3 times on a turn, maybe. But
okay, yeah. Like a 2 for 6 intimidate, and they have to block it out because they have no life left. Or like they're on one. You go 2 for 6, and it has some kind of intimidate.
And you have an agility token.
They have to block both of those.
You have to agility into this.
Yeah. This is so crazy. That's conditionally good, but that's so specific.
You can't go block 2, swing this, and attempt to arsenal.
Yeah. That's rough. Okay. Next one, Ball Breaker, 2 for 3 as well. If you've discarded a card with 6 or more power this turn, it gets +1. Reminds me of something else.
I mean, so this is strictly worse Romping Club.
But it's one-handed.
It doesn't have go again. But this is just good for limited.
What if
oh, that's a 3-card 8 still. Never mind. Like these brute weapons need agility tokens. Is what it seems like.
I think we're going to get more agility, might, and vigor than anyone's expecting in this set. We're going to get a lot of it.
I think so.
Because these cards are just saying that too. But does might work on weapons?
I'm not sure. I will double check.
Because even High Riser looks better if you just happen to have a might token. Because then that's just a 3.
Your next attack this turn gets +1. Yeah. Oh, you should know that. That's your Bravant deck.
Yes, I knew that and was testing you. Oh, we had no footage because I had the screen up over our faces. Interesting. All right. I'm kind of excited. I really want, honestly, just for draft reasons, I want to see the token cards more than I want to see the rare cards. But I mean, if we're getting this many rare cards,
this means you can have a rare weapon like for everyone.
Holy frick. You might just be like in certain scenarios, like I feel like in a healthy amount of drafts, you could maybe end up just having like a rare weapon and a token.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Interesting. All right. Now I'm actually getting off the computer. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for telling us about that.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate
it. All right. Bye.